It's your girl Ashley. If you're new to my channel, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to show you how I created this Euphoria inspired look. It's also giving me like EDC vibes, so if you're interested, then keep on watching. First things first, I need to go ahead and prime my eyes. I'm using this P. Louise Base Pro. This is in the shade Rumor 02. I freaking love this stuff. You already know. A little goes a long way as well, because if you put too much, then it's going to start creasing everywhere. I'm sorry. Ronaldo's really active right now. For the eyes, I'm going to be using this Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. It is so beautiful. In case that you don't know what it looks like, this is what it looks like. Look. So beautiful. With this Anastasia A10 brush, it's a very fluffy brush. I'm going to grab the color Libra, which is this one right here. It is so gorgeous. And I'm just going to tap some of it off. And I'm just going to put this all over the eye. I kind of want to create something soft and flirty. So literally just being messy, focusing it on the crease, on the lid, all over the eye. Gonna grab a little bit more. Sorry, Ronaldo is playing with his toy. It is literally like 6:30 a.m. and he's just like, what's up, y'all? What's good? Just to define a little bit more, I'm grabbing Libra again and I'm focusing it on the outer part, kind of creating a V in a way. That way, you're creating still a shape. With this Anastasia A25 brush, I'm going to grab, what is it called? Momentum, which is this one right here. I swear he was not playing with his toy, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, you recording, Mom? I'm about to start playing. But we're going to use this color to go ahead and diffuse any harsh lines. So right below the brow bone. That way we blend everything nicely. Now, right now, I'm being a little bit indecisive. I don't know how this is going to look, but I think I'm going to use my fingers for this to get the best, like, movement. But I'm going to grab this color here called Super Moon, which is a very beautiful shimmery color. Look, it's right there. So gorgeous. I was going to use a brush, but I just don't know how the pigment's going to come off because I don't want it to be, like, super pigmented because the point here is the sparkle. So I'm just going to use my fingers. I'm going to just tap, tap, tap. All over the lid. Did I just say lid? Oh my gosh. All over the lid. This is kind of giving me like Euphoria vibes. Like I wasn't sure. I've been so obsessed with the show right now, but it's giving me definitely like Euphoria vibes. Let's go ahead and move on to the face, but before I do that, I want to show you what I use to prep my skin. So as soon as I wash my face, I do apply a toner. I use the Fenty Beauty toner, and then I use this Dermalogica Antioxidant Hydramist. I have combination skin, but I also feel like my skin is dry at the same time, but oily at the same time, so make it make sense. But then I apply this MLA Skincare Moisturizer, and then I apply my sunscreen, which is this one right here. My camera is just like not loving me today. It's just not wanting to focus. But then for primer, I like to use this Bobbi brown one. This is the Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Now this one's weird because it's kind of like a primer, but at the same time it's more like a moisturizer. But then I like to use this One Size Secure the Blur primer as well. But I feel like doing all of this, like, I love the way that my foundation comes out. I zoomed out just a little bit so we can, you know, focus on the face. But for my foundation, I'm going to be using this e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. This is in the shade Light 210N. Now I'm going to use my fingers. So literally I'm just going to put some like this and rub it. I hate the way that this feels, but at the same time I just like the way that it applies. But this is just going to be layer 1. Before I go ahead and apply my other foundation, I am going to correct underneath my eyes. I'm using this NYX Corrector. This is in the shade Medium. It's kind of like an orange base, so it helps cancel out a little bit of my situation under my eyes. The other foundation I'm going to be using is this Colourpop No Filter Foundation. This is in the shade Light 50W. I'm just using a damp beauty blender. I already have some in the back of my hand that I'm going to be mixing, and I'm so sorry you can hear Ronaldo, but it's my baby. I'm not going to tell him to be quiet. He needs to, you know, burn some energy or whatnot. But I'm just going to focus this all over the face, also on the neck. Now for concealer, I'm going to be using this Tarte Ultra Creamy Concealer. It kind of reminds me a lot of the Tarte shape because it's the same brand, same packaging. This is in the shade 16N. And I'm just going to put that underneath in my ojitos. So yesterday I actually watched this movie on Netflix called Life is Too Short. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but if you haven't, I definitely recommend it. I know there's a lot of movies already out there that have the same kind of like message, but I really, really liked it because literally it's just what the title says. Life is too short. And it made me just put a lot of things into perspective. Like, I've been so freaking consumed with bad energy, like focusing on the negative things of life, then I forget that, you know what, there's great things. I can't focus on that all the time. Time to cream contour here. This is like my favorite part. I do so much, but I'm using this Maybelline contour cream. This is in the shade Warm Olive. I really like this color, and I really do contour the heck out of my face because tengo a big forehead and I just like the way that it looks. That way it gives me, you know, a little bit of color. I don't know if I've shared this story before, but I think it's really funny and I would like to share it. This is the time that I got my best friend in trouble with her sister. So there's a couple backstory that I need to give before we go into this story, because that way it kind of like makes sense a little bit to you, or I guess that would be my excuse. Now for blush, I'm going to be using this Rare Beauty, and this is in the shade Hope. I really, really like this one. But growing up, my mom was super, super overprotective of me. She did not let me speak to boys. Literally, like Lucy and I and Jasmine grew up together since I was 4 years old, and we would hang out because they lived like 3 houses down, and there were some neighborhood boys, and you know, when we would be hanging out in front of my yard and the boys would pass on the sidewalk, my mom would literally call me in and be like, you either tell the boys to leave or like you can't play anymore. Like, my mom was super protective like that, and I understand that she meant well, but oh my gosh, like that really effed me up, and that's why I have like all these issues with men. But anyways, but yeah, she was super overprotective of me. She did not let me talk to boys at all, so there's that. So now moving on to my story, my best friend had moved and they lived in some apartment complexes, and I went over to hang out with them. Okay, but this is giving me like Cassie vibes, don't you think? Like this look right now, it's coming together. Anyways, so they lived in some apartment complexes, so then I went over to hang out with them, and during that time I think it was Facebook or MySpace. MySpace was like a thing, and I didn't have one because my mom didn't allow me to have one, but then Lucy created one for me and all that, right? So anyways, they lived in apartment complexes, so that means there's a lot of like teenagers and everything. So of course this is all new to me because I'm sheltered and I don't hang out with anybody. I'm so like antisocial or whatever. So we were hanging out with the community, I guess you can say. And then I ended up meeting this guy there, and Lucy had a crush on this other guy. So like she was talking to that guy, and then this little shorty guy, that's literally what they were calling him, shorty. He was talking to me, and then we started talking, and he asked me to be his girlfriend. Okay, like we had just met that day, but me, boys, what? So I said yeah. So we were like chit-chatting, flirting, whatever. Then it was time for us to go home, basically, like to go back inside. And I can't remember the full details. I know Lucy would know. To set my under eyes, I'm going to be using this Morphe Brightening powder, and I'm just going to use my damp beauty blender, but I'm going to go over my under eyes to make sure I don't have any crazy creases. But yeah, her sister was calling us to get back inside the house, but Lucy was like, come on, like let's go, we're gonna get in trouble, blah blah blah. So she's like heading out that way, and I didn't because I was stubborn, because I'm over here thinking like, when am I gonna see this dude again? Because you know, I don't talk to men, and like I don't know when I'm gonna come visit again. So I didn't want to leave, so I stayed. And then basically her sister caught me talking to the guy, and then she pulled Lucy's hair in front of everybody. I'm sorry, but hey, it was my first time, okay? Let me enjoy my life. Let's add a little bit of color back into the skin. So I'm going in with my Hoola bronzer. I need a new brush because look, this is dirty. I don't think this is sanitary, but not like ustedes lavan sus pinches. When was the last time you washed your brushes? Don't judge me. When was the last time you washed your brushes? Exactly. Exactly. I feel like I'm probably going to be a overprotective mom as well, even though I don't want to be, but I feel like I have to learn my limits too, because the fact that my mom like didn't allow me to talk to men really like affected me socially when it comes to talking to people, specifically men. So I don't want to do that to like my kid. Now for blush, I'm using the MAC X Patrickstarrr. This is in Take Me Home. So I'm just going to put some just to add a little bit more. I am going to do my eyebrows with the camera because it takes me so long, but I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pencil. This is what it looks like, and this is in the shade Taupe. Let's go back to the eyes, but you know the song like, we don't talk about broom, no, no, no. Yeah, from Encanto. Okay, it's going to be like that for my eyebrows, okay? We don't talk about my eyebrows. We don't talk about it. Back with the A10 brush in the color Libra, I'm just going to go over the outer part of the eye, just very so lightly, like dragging it out, because I'm also going to be putting rhinestones there. I know we are doing rhinestones. Also with this JH40 brush, I grabbed a little bit of Libra and I'm just going to put that on the lower lash line, smoking it out. With my finger again, I'm going to grab Super Moon and I'm just going to tap that again all over the eye, but then also a little bit on the outer part of the eye, just so that we can have some sparkle. With this Morphe M508 brush, it's a very small little detailed brush. I'm going to grab this color here called Ultraviolet, which is this like shimmery purple. And I'm going to use that to kind of create a little bit of a eyeliner effect on the lash line on top. But you know what? I don't think this is going to work out because it looks like it's a very creamy color. Let's try it out though. Let me see. Okay, so I went ahead and I did it on this eye, but I feel you can barely even tell. I'm just trying to put something very like kind of darkish so that I can blend the lash line. Now I'm going to go ahead and just start applying rhinestones. So I'm using these. I got these off of Amazon and I'm going to use the number 11, which are these right here. I don't think you guys can really see it, but I'm going to go in. This is the final look. I'm so sorry. I looked at the time and I was like, I gotta Speedy Gonzalez. But everything that I use is going to be down below in the description box. So make sure to check that out. Now, this is definitely giving me Euphoria vibes. But at the same time, it's kind of giving me like EDC vibes. Don't you think? Like, But yet I think it's very simple. So this is very fun but yet simple look. Let me know if you think so. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys liked this look. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, hit that bell button to get notified when I upload new videos. You're more than welcome to follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. I post later previews of what I'm filming and all the good stuff again. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!